I talked that I would like to change my habit of procrastination.
Firstly, like I said, I'm taking initiatives now. I have changed it. And secondly, ma'am, I judge people too quickly before even they complete the sentence.
I can stop doing that, and there are better ways to deal with the frustration that I may be feeling.
This is a special year. I think all of us are going to remember it like that. All I want to do is change our memories for this year. Change our memories that instead of getting frustrated, getting irritated, what did we do instead? So when you're here and when you go back, all I want to do is make that small contribution in your life where you go back and you just make a choice that, okay, when the world is frustrated and one side frustration hits me, I'm going to pick up and make another choice and be someone else. Most people always talk about communication. When they talk about communication, it is like they're talking about public speaking skills. They're talking about addressing the outside world. I should be able to speak well, present well. My thoughts should be very well compiled. My language should be very polished. And my vocabulary should be like that. That is how people perceive communication these days. Now, more than that, if I say communication is not public speaking, communication is something that you do every day between two people. You connect with the other person through only one thing, and that is communication. I say, do not worry about what you need to communicate. Worry more about what you don't need to communicate. Don't worry about what I need to say. Worry more about what I don't need to say. Don't worry about the message I want to give. Worry about the message I don't want to reach the other person. What miscommunication causes is, just imagine for a moment. Now you have a fallout with a person that you're going to meet once in 6 months. It is fine because in some time you'll get over it. You'll forget about it. It'll all be okay. It'll all be fine. But what happens when you have a fallout with a person who's living next to you? A person that you have to survive with morning, evening, night. If you have a fallout with that person and you have a miscommunication, you have a bad communication, let me put a very simple example in front of you. How many of you have a miss or a bad communication with your parents, mom, dad? Does it happen? Raise your hands, please. I think it is very, very obvious that when we live so close to someone, it is obvious that we are going to run over each other's toes every now and then things will happen which will not be in good taste. But what happens when things don't happen in good taste? Do you lash back at them? Do you raise your pitch? Do you say loose words, certain things that you regret later? Do you act in haste? Do you do certain things that you would not want to do, you would want to go back and change? And then after you've done all of that, what happens? Have you noticed that complete silence? That weird silence that surrounds you? Have you noticed that mom will be sitting next to you, serve you food but not look at you? Hota hai? And you worry, कि कब मेरे से दोबारा बात करेंगे? And then inside of you feel sorry, and then you go and you keep on apologizing and you keep on saying sorry. It's in your house with your family. When you go out to work, the same thing happens with colleagues. When you are into a job and you want to perform higher, you want to get higher, you want to grow, the same thing happens with your maybe people who are supervising you. The same thing happens with your family. The same thing happens with people who surround you. And it gives you an uncomfortable feeling. It causes misunderstanding. It spoils your mood. It causes unwarranted stress that you do not want. Today, I want you to focus on reverse engineering. You understand what reverse engineering is? I don't want you to. Reverse engineering is a process where you say कि आपने एक final product देखा. उस final product को हमने देख करके we observed it. Okay, this is the final product right in front of me. Now I watch it and I see what is the best about this product and I deconstruct it. And then I go back and I see what is it that I want to improve in this. And then I create a product which is better than that. That is called reverse engineering. I want you to do the exact same. So we are not going to talk about how we will build communication, how we will better our communication. We will start with what not to do with communication if you want to become an effective communicator, because that is the least that people tell you. That is one thing that people do not tell you, and that is something I want you to make a master of, because that is what, once you know what not to do, then it becomes so simple that once you've already eradicated what not to do, you start focusing on, oh, I just have to do 3 things and I'm done. If I give you a mechanism where you will be able to clearly identify and make a conscious decision and clearly see what are the areas where I'm messing up in my communication. Like exactly pinpoint कि मेरी communication में, in my entire communication, what is that one area where I'm messing up? What is the area where I'm really strong? I'm doing good in this area. The area where I'm average. Do you feel that as a person you will feel much more in control and power? Yes? If I give you today something which shows you your entire circle of excellence in communication, where you are able to see very clearly that in my communication, this particular aspect is basically denting my entire communication. Or yes, this is just a small area where I'm messing up. And at the same point of time, I also tell you how you bring out that area. Mom brings in food and she gives food to Shiv first. Now, while mom is giving food to Shiv first, what is the thing that would come in Tanisha's mind? Mom is favoring Shiv. She loves Shiv more than me. That is why she gave him food. At the same point of time, now tomorrow, when mom gets, it's Tanisha's birthday, and mom gets Tanisha a new phone. And when it's Shiv's birthday, she gets him a watch. What does Shiv think? Oh, definitely, she gave her a phone, which means she is her favorite. I'm someone that she cares less about. So she doesn't love me as much. And this goes on and on and on. And different people have different interpretations of different things happening at the same point of time. Now, when you're living together or when you're with outside people, I just give you one simple thing, that one thing happens and we start processing it in a different way. We make different meanings out of things. We make different interpretations. And we know that when we make meanings, it hurts. It makes us feel that, why are we secluded? Why is somebody doing this to me? Is it that I'm not that important? Why is this person alienating me so much? Do all of these things happen in your life? Do we make meanings that negatively impact our mindset? Like while people are speaking, do we try to mind read them कि मुझे पहले से ही पता है कि तुम क्या सोचने वाले हो और तुम क्या बोलने वाले हो, इसलिए I'm going to speak before you only. So why do I even need to make you complete your sentence? Let me complete the sentence for you. So if it happens that you try to mind read people, you reach to conclusions much before the communication has already happened, and you approach the communication with the conclusion already, then this is one area you need to work upon. This is one area which is going to be a dark area, which is going to impact your communications every now and then, because interpretation and meaning is everything. When we listen, we interpret. How many times have you reacted back in a conversation telling the other person, you always do this to me. You never listen to me. You always judge me. Everyone takes me for granted. Everyone does this with me. No one cares for me. The word always, never, everyone, no one. Do you understand what these words are? This is generalizing the entire world and saying never ever someone has, like saying no one cares for me. Are you trying to say that no one in the world has actually ever cared for you? Think about it, the real meaning, what it means. You always take me for granted. Now, people who say that need to think about this. Do you really think always everyone has taken you for granted? Everyone hates me. Do you really want to say no one ever loved you? Do you want to say you always judge me? Clearly means no one ever appreciated you. So if you have been using words like these in your conversation, always, never, no one, everyone, all the time, clearly means we're not responding, we are reacting. We are reacting without thinking. Our judgment is clouded. Our internal communication is clouded, and it is affecting everything, and it will affect your communication in times to come. Now, if you make a negative and a hasty conclusion about people, I'm not talking about positive, negative and a hasty conclusion about people very soon. You raise your pitch quite often because the moment you feel offended, you just can't have control over your volume and pitch. Don't know what happens, suddenly it just rises. Don't know what to do, it just rises. If that is the thing, or on the other hand, you're someone who gives others a silent treatment. You said this to me, now you see, 2 days I'm going to give you of silence, and you shall know. Either of the two, they are not responses. It's not owning responsibility in the communication. Both of them are reactions, unthought of. And there are two ways you listen. You listen to react, or you listen to understand. Listen in entirety. Do not do selective listening. This week is only about do not do's first. Don't do selective listening. If you get fixed in a doubt, suppose you're not clear about what the other person is saying, you are not going to try and read their mind and reach to conclusions. You're going to ask them, what did you mean by this? You are not going to make out your own meanings. The moment your mind gives you a signal of a negative response, which means a negative meaning starts hitting you, which will happen. I'm warning you of that. Because if it was that simple, you wouldn't see these blunders happening out in the world with respect to communication, which will happen. But you guys are lucky because you're getting it at that age when you can actually mold yourself. If the Dutch pilot who landed over there in haste caused so many casualties, so many people died, do you think he got into the habit of haste and losing patience on that day? No, it must have been a habit to be in haste and not be in patience. If you would give him a chance today, hey, how about inculcating some patience and listening in entirety, not selective listening? Do you think he would want to change what happened because of that one miscommunication? Definitely. Everybody around me is a positive person. I'm not looking at them negatively. Even if I see something negative, my response is not going to be judged and guarded by what people give to me. It is my response. I make a choice. What response do I have to make? If you cannot control your responses with the closest people around you, what makes you think you will be able to control your responses tomorrow with the outside world?
Listen what the person has to say, and I will not react instantly. I will ask what they really mean, and then maybe respond to what they're saying, because I react very fast. I have anger issues, so I do that sometimes. So I think I will change that about me.
So I would like to hear the whole sentence, the whole conversation that they are doing, and then I would like to react to it and then respond to it, not react to it.
I'm going to start with analyzing and understanding situations before reacting to them, because sometimes we don't know what the other person in front of us is going through.
Because you remember, you're placing brick after brick and we choose the bricks. Yeah? This was an awesome session for me. I love you all. As always, this is the favorite part when I see your faces and everything. So please, all of you all, try and keep showing your faces, be on the video. That's what gives me super energy, makes me feel super happy.